My friends, meow, we've got a story that's straight out of a crime thriller, but trust me, it's all too real. Takeshi Ebisawa, a 60-year-old kingpin of the Japanese Yakuza, has just pleaded guilty to trafficking nuclear materials and narcotics. At 60, most folks are planning retirement. Our mate Takeshi, he's out here trying to retire the whole planet. Ebisawa's criminal empire spans Japan, Thailand and Sri Lanka, showcasing the Yakuza's international reach. This isn't your average neighborhood gang, my friends. We're talking a multinational corporation of crime. For those of you who think Yakuza is just a video game, let me enlighten you. These are the lads who make the mafia look like a book club. Now, you might be wondering, Ron, how does one go from running a crime syndicate to dabbling in nuclear apocalypse? Well, it's all about diversification, my friends. Ebisawa's like the Amazon of the underworld. Drugs, weapons, nuclear materials. Next thing you know, he'll be offering prime delivery on warheads. We're not just talking about a few grams here. Ebisawa was caught red-handed with weapons-grade plutonium and uranium, the building blocks of nuclear Armageddon, enough to make North Korea's nuclear program look like a science fair project. For those of you who slept through chemistry class, weapons-grade plutonium is the stuff that makes nuclear bombs go boom. And trust me, we're not talking about a small boom here. The DEA agents went so deep undercover, they probably forgot what daylight looked like. For 2 years, they played cat and mouse with Ebisawa, posing as an Iranian general with a nuclear shopping list longer than my list of ex-wives, all to catch our nuclear-dealing friend here. As DEA Administrator Anne Milgram put it, this case represents a seismic shift in how we view the intersection of organised crime and global security. Well, Anne, I'd say that's the understatement of the century. But let's not forget the geopolitical mess this whole affair is stirring up. Myanmar's been in a bit of a pickle since the military coup in 2021. But going from political turmoil to nuclear bazaar, that's quite the career change for a country. Myanmar, still reeling from a military coup in 2021, has become a veritable supermarket for all your nuclear and narcotics needs. It's like they're running a buy one get one free deal on global security threats. And Iran? Well, they've always maintained their nuclear program is for peaceful purposes. But if they're shopping for plutonium from Yakuza bosses, I'd say their definition of peaceful needs a bit of a rethink. It's like saying you're buying a flamethrower for a barbecue. Ebisawa was trying to diversify his portfolio faster than a Wall Street broker on cocaine. You've got to admire his business acumen. Drugs, weapons, nuclear materials. He's like the Amazon of the underworld. Next thing you know, he'll be offering prime delivery on warheads. Now, Ebisawa's looking at a minimum of 10 years behind bars. But let's be real, with charges like these, he might be trading his Yakuza tattoos for prison stripes for life. The sentencing is set for April 9th, 2025. Mark your calendars, folks. It's going to be more explosive than well, you know. This case has got diplomats in Washington and Tokyo sweating more than a sumo wrestler in a sauna. It's not exactly great for the old special relationship when one of your citizens is caught trying to nuke up Iran. And speaking of relationships, if you're as gobsmacked by this nuclear nonsense as I am, smash that like button. And if you've got theories on what the Yakuza might try to sell next, moon rocks perhaps, drop them in the comments below. Ebisawa wasn't alone in this nuclear neverland. His partner in crime, Somphop Singasiri, is also facing charges. It's like a twisted version of The Odd Couple, but instead of cleaning habits, they're arguing over enrichment levels. These aren't your granddad's smugglers. We're talking about folks who can probably spell fissile material faster than most of us can say nuclear. The folks at the International Atomic Energy Agency must be having kittens right meow. Their job just went from challenging to mission impossible faster than you can say fission. This case has more layers than a nuclear reactor's containment system, and trust me, that's a lot of layers. This isn't just about one bloke with a fancy title and a penchant for plutonium. It's about the whole world suddenly realising that their nuclear nightmares might be delivered by your friendly neighbourhood crime syndicate. The UN Security Council is reportedly deeply concerned, which, in diplomatic speak, means they're running around like headless chickens behind closed doors. Let's zoom out for a moment, shall we? This case highlights a dangerous new trend in organised crime. We're not just talking about your run-of-the-mill drug deals or protection rackets anymore. We're talking about the potential for non-state actors to get their hands on the most destructive weapons known to mankind. It's like giving a toddler a loaded gun. except the toddler is a hardened criminal and the gun could level a city. And let's not forget the impact on nuclear non-proliferation efforts. The folks working on keeping nukes out of the wrong hands must be pulling their hair out, right? Meow. Their job just went from challenging to mission impossible faster than you can say enriched uranium. It's like trying to herd cats if the cats were radioactive and could potentially trigger a global catastrophe. But wait, there's more. This whole fiasco also shines a spotlight on the complex relationship between organised crime and geopolitics. We've got a Japanese crime lord working with insurgents in Myanmar, trying to sell nukes to Iran, all while being caught by American law enforcement. It's like a game of Risk, but with real-world consequences and a lot more radiation. US Attorney Damian Williams didn't pull any punches when he said, "It is impossible to overstate the seriousness of the conduct alleged in today's indictment." You think, Damian? I'd say trafficking weapons-grade plutonium is pretty high up there on the things that are seriously bad list, right between kicking puppies and ending the world. Now, you might be wondering about the technological aspects of all this. Well, Ebisawa wasn't just showing off some shiny rocks. He was providing Geiger counter readings to prove the authenticity of his nuclear wares. It's like a twisted version of show and tell, where instead of bringing in your pet hamster, you're showcasing the potential end of civilization as we know it. The implications for international security are staggering. We're talking about a world where the line between organised crime and state-sponsored terrorism is blurrier than my vision after a night out. It's a brave new world, my friends, and it's terrifying. So, what does this mean for the future? Well, for one, I'd say the market for personal bunkers is about to skyrocket. But on a more serious note, it means we need to seriously rethink our approach to both organised crime and nuclear proliferation. Because if we don't, we might find ourselves in a world where mutually assured destruction isn't just a deterrent between nations, but a bargaining chip for every two-bit gangster with delusions of grandeur. So there you have it, my friends. A Yakuza boss, nuclear materials, drug deals, and a dash of international intrigue. It's like someone took a James Bond plot and cranked it up to 11. Meow, if you'll excuse me, I need to go check if my fallout shelter is up to code. I'm Ron de Parmesan, and this has been another Newscat special report. Thank you for watching, and don't go far because another breaking story is right around the corner.